Unfortunately, its true purpose is something much more entertainers and celebrities, by virtually every metric imaginable, this planet is in very good health. Biden got more votes than Obama did in his second run, and I find that a bit suspicious. Obama is an eloquent speaker, but Biden is a dementia-riddled old man that rambles about children rubbing his legs. There are so many problems with the vote, and President Trump has until December 14th to settle all discrepancies. It was not a question of if the Democrats would interfere, but how. Starting with the mail-in ballots, many postal workers have gone on record about the problems with how the ballots were collected. This is without mentioning that ballots were sent to people who did not request one. There are questions with the voting machines turning Trump votes into Biden votes in Michigan. Even worse, these same machines are used all over the country. Furthermore, when you look at the whole ballot with all of the candidates, there is a problem as well. Most people vote straight down party lines, but this time, a disproportionate number of ballots did not have a vote for House and Senate races when the people voted for Biden. Put another way, many more people only voted for the president, but not in the Senate races on the Democrat side, as opposed to the Republican side. In fact, the difference is almost a factor of 10 in both Michigan and Georgia. This seems to indicate that ballots were being rapidly filled out for many people, and so they did not have time to vote for the other seats. This is without mentioning dead people voting and blocking off windows at the ballot counting. All of this is not only grounds for the DOJ to investigate, but is grounds to be heard before the Supreme Court. President Trump, if you believe the fake news, is the single most racist man on the face of the earth. While this is patently false, it is worth looking into. He was loved by leaders of the black community for years because of his social outreach, but only became a racist once he started running for president. Trump gained votes this time with minorities, even getting more votes than the GOP has ever gotten from this bloc. He also got more votes from women and the LGBT community. Despite his Muslim ban, which is the single biggest misnomer in modern politics, he increased in this bloc as well. It seems as if Americans will turn out in droves to vote for the guy who brings jobs back to the country. I wonder how many more of these votes would have gone to Trump before the election was meddled in. AOC is a post-turtle in my humble opinion. Even with the election interference, Democrats barely hung on to the seats that they had in the Senate and the House. This is mostly thanks to the few moderates left in the party that begged the party leadership to no longer take extreme views. They have realized that defunding the police and endorsing socialism is driving people away. They may even challenge Pelosi's seat. Personally, I find this utterly hilarious. I am not sure that the moderates stand a chance, because the party has made their bed and now they must sleep in it. Back to AOC. She says that she might quit politics over this disagreement. To that, I only have one thing to say.
So long. See you, sucker. Bon voyage. Arrivederci, later, loser. Goodbye. Good riddance. Peace out. Let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Don't come back around here no more. Hasta visa. Kick rocks and get the hell out.
People moved in droves to Parler in response to Facebook's censorship, and I would say that I joined them, but I was already there. I was a Parler user before the trend. However, I must question whether it is wise to leave Facebook behind entirely. In the book of Acts, the disciples created a community for believers rather than going out into the world. It was not until Saul came onto the scene that they started spreading out. My point is that there are so many people that still worship at the altar of the government. If every conservative left Facebook, these people would be left with no one to witness to them. As such, they will never hear the message of liberty. And that is frightening. Senator Lindsey Graham is the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He is urging his fellow Republicans to not concede that Biden won the rigged election. It was never a matter of if they would interfere, but how much. The Democrats are calling for unity, but spent the better half of the last 4 years calling the election illegitimate. We dealt with Obama for 8 years and did not riot, but Democrats were ready to riot before Trump was even inaugurated. Republicans have not taken to the streets to burn down buildings in response to Biden being the presumptive president-elect. Bill Barr has encouraged every state to look into any fraud and will be building a case. Furthermore, a new poll released by Just the News says that only 49% of people believe the results of the election. The rest are split between those who are not sure and those that think Trump won. This means that it is not some fringe minority that questions the election. If there is no fraud whatsoever, we will get the exact same results as we did previously. So what are the Democrats afraid of? So many liberals have been ready for a vaccine for the China virus. However, they do not want it during the Trump administration because then he would get credit for stopping the virus that was created for his downfall. Now even Fauci is saying that the vaccine may be ready by the end of November or the start of December. This is good news. We will finally be able to breathe with impunity. On the other hand, we failed the test run. The elites now know that if a virus is scary enough, they will be able to control half of the population. This was COVID-19. COVID-21 may come shortly. Ilhan ballot harvesting Omar is the epitome of everything that is wrong with the Democratic Party. Instead of standing against actual human rights violations such as countries that throw gays off of buildings, stone rape victims, and execute people for having a different religion, she has decided to go after Israel. Palestinian forces intentionally place missile launchers on or near schools and hospitals to ensure that any retaliation can be used to benefit them. This time, they decided to put up illegal homes on a firing range. Naturally, they were blown to smithereens, but Omar decided that the IDF attacked an innocent village because reasons. Also on the list of problems is her money laundering. Her campaign funneled $2.7 million into her new husband's firm during the last cycle. Despite demanding that President Trump release his tax returns for political reasons, the Democrats are trying to keep this under the rug. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion.